This is the recording for page 258 to 260. So, the human form as art. We can see the Greek admiration for humanity not just in their games, but also in the works of art they left behind. Early Greek artists chose to picture animals or abstract designs, but as time went on, Greek artists turned their attention to humanity. They wanted to show the human form in all its glory. Thousands of colorfully painted pots and vases remain from ancient Greece. Most were used as jars or vats for storing grain, wine, and oil. The Greeks wanted such objects to be more than useful. They also wanted them to be beautiful. So they made vessels both strong and graceful, and artists adorned them with human figures that seemed to leap to life. Artists painted heroes battling, runners racing, ordinary people picking olives or meeting friends. Any scene that focused on the lives of human beings and their doings. Greek artists were lucky to have good materials on hand. There was plenty of red clay for potters to shape into durable vases. Even more important, white marble lay in the earth in Greece. Within that marble, sculptors made statues unmatched in the ancient world, statues that seemed to do everything but sing. Sculptors chiseled perfectly shaped athletes, powerful heroes, and beautiful women. The famous Kretos boy, for example, shows how well Greek sculptors understood the structure of the human body by the 5th century BC. In time, Greek craftsmanship created sculptures in bronze too. Casting freestanding statues in bronze had advantages over chiseling marble. Bronze resisted exposure to wind and rain better than marble, and with bronze, sculptors could more fully capture the human body in action. A sculptor didn't risk having an extended marble limb collapse under its own weight. Few bronze sculptures have survived, however. Most were melted down and used for other purposes. We know the famous sculpture Discus Thrower by Myron, see page 254, only by later Roman copies. This statue of an athlete in action still breathes life. So let's go back to page 254. This one right here. One of the most famous surviving bronze statues was focused in a shipwreck, or was found in a shipwreck 140 feet beneath the surface of the Aegean Sea, a majestic statue of the god Poseidon, or possibly Zeus. Almost 7 feet tall, the god is cast as a powerful athlete. His dramatic pose with arms fully outstretched, perhaps grasping a trident or about to hurl a thunderbolt, was only possible for sculptors working in bronze rather than stone. Not surprisingly, the Greek artist fashioned the god to look like a perfectly formed human being, a shining example of how, through their art, the Greeks expressed their admiration for the human form. And here's a picture of that. A bronze casting of a Greek god, either Poseidon or Zeus. Human endeavors as memorable. It wasn't just the human form that interested the ancient Greeks. It was human actions, accomplishments, and past deeds. By the 5th century BC, Greeks were looking back at the human past in a careful way, trying to record it, wondering what they could learn from human activity long ago. The Chinese had some chronicles of the past, but the Greeks were the first civilization to study history in an organized manner. Their fascination with the past began with the work of the man known as the father of history, Herodotus. Herodotus. Herodotus was fascinated by the past and by the lessons it taught. He had no written histories to consult, so he decided to write his own. His approach was simple. He traveled far and wide, throughout Greece, across the Middle East, down into North Africa. As he traveled, he asked questions of the people he met. He asked about their customs and manners, about their religions and beliefs, about what they knew of their past. Herodotus wrote down what he learned in a book, the world's earliest surviving volume of history. Because Herodotus probably read his histories to the public, he knew the importance of a good story and filled his writings with lively tales. Some were true, others were not. Herodotus included them anyway, wanting to hold his readers' interest and hoping that they would learn from an embellished human past. Another young Greek historian of the 5th century BC built on the work of Herodotus. His name was Thucydides. Like Herodotus, he believed people could learn from history, but rather than writing about a distant past, Thucydides chronicled the events of his own day, especially the wars between the Greek city-states. He wrote in great detail and with painstaking care. He spent no time on fanciful stories or fantastic tales. What did Thucydides think of Herodotus? Did he believe his own writings better history than those of his predecessor? Perhaps. According to tradition, though, when Herodotus was reciting his work, one day a young boy was so moved by the narrative that he started to cry. In a twist that is worthy of Herodotus, the boy turned out to be none other than the future historian Thucydides himself. With Herodotus and Thucydides, we have the beginnings of the, of the discipline of history. These men were among the first to study the past in an organized way and write a record of human actions and accomplishments. The beginnings of written history in ancient Greece provide yet further testimony to the Greeks' great interest in humanity. And we will stop there and we'll take a look at the Greek citizen states next. So this is the reading of pages 258 to 260.